Hello guys, we're back with the new election prediction video. This time it's the 2022 Senate election predictions as of the month of November. So we're just going to get into these safe states. So the real question is whether or not the GOP, whether or not they could win enough seats to get a majority and halt Biden's current agenda of trying to pull us out of this current economic situation we're in. The real question is whether the GOP can win these states, and I'm going to say they have a really solid chance as of right now. So we're immediately going to get to the first few states. I mean, before I was ranking Missouri as likely, but at this point, it's solid. GOP has a lot of momentum according to the generic ballot. They're leading there now by around a point. And there's only like polls showing like, oh, they have a 5-point lead, they have a 10-point lead, but I'm going to say it's probably around the average. There's certain polls that show Democrats with the lead, so average it out, it's probably like a 3-point Republican lead nationwide, I would say, but still, it depends on the individual candidates on each race, so it just depends, but I think Missouri is going to be a 10-point win for the Republican, whatever nominee they have. I feel like it's going to be a blowout either way. Colorado, I'm going to keep it as likely. I do not think the GOP can win this state come November in next year. I really do not think they're going to win it. They don't have any good candidates to run here. I'm not sure if Cory Gardner, the former Republican senator from Colorado, is going to run here. If he does, he could make it to lean. He could, but I'm going to say it's going to be about a likely state for now. I think the Democrat will get like a 6 or 7-point win here. Comfortable victory, but still, it's pretty striking when it was a Democratic plus 10 state in the 2020 election. So, Ohio, Tim Ryan is a very good candidate, a very good House Democrat to run here. I mean, he kind of chose to run for Senate because his House seat is just going to get gerrymandered by the Republicans anyway. So he's like, screw it, I may as well try to run here and try to make this area competitive. And honestly, I don't see it. I mean, if a crazy Republican candidate wins here, he could shift it to leans, it'll likely, but even then, that's his best case scenario for Tim Ryan. I still think it's going to be about a likely win for the Republicans. Iowa, I did rake it as safe, but here's why. Chuck Grassley's just an amazing candidate to run here, and he's a huge incumbent. I mean, he may win by less than he did in the past because he's old, and Iowa voters want someone different, but he's still going to win by this big margin because, you know, the GOP has momentum on their side currently, and that's going to hold up for now. New Hampshire, though, that's actually going to be lean D now because guess what? Chris Sununu announced he's not going to run for the Senate seat here. He's going to run for governor because he just doesn't want to run for Senate at all. He doesn't want to. He'd rather prefer ruling a state. So, and another thing is Kelly Oyette, the former Republican senator here, she also said she wasn't running. So the GOP has no good candidates to run here besides garbage, no-name candidates. And you know what? No-name candidates never win these races, ever, so it's not going to happen. You need name recognition to win this seat, and these candidates are not the way to do with it. You needed Chris Sununu to run here. You even needed Kelly Oyette to run here in that case. I mean, she probably would have done pretty good. She probably even flip this state or even make it tilt D, but for now, it's going to be lean D as for the foreseeable future, honestly. Next state, Florida. Marco Rubio is an extremely strong incumbent here. He could maybe even win it by over 10 points, but I'm going to say it's probably going to win it by 8. They are running Val Demings against him, but she could shift it to lean if she runs a really great campaign. But I'm just going to say that with the Republican momentum right now, it's going to be a likely state for the Republicans come November next year. Next state, North Carolina. I think the Republicans are going to win here too. I mean, the Democrats do have some good candidates. It's just that the momentum's not on their side right now. They really need to get these bills passed. They need to fix the economic problems, the supply chain crisis. They need to get all that done, and they need to get inflation under control. So they need all those factors to go their way, and currently the Republicans are doing better on their messaging, especially in that state. Wisconsin, I think Ron Johnson probably will run for re-election here. If he does, he'll probably carry the state by about a lean margin. If he doesn't, the Democrats actually have a chance at winning here. But still, it would be a tilt Republican advantage just based on momentum. Next state we're going to. Arizona. As of right now, Republicans have a huge amount of momentum. They could win this state and flip it with the right candidate. They have to be very careful in a Republican primary and pick someone who's actually competitive and electable to independent voters. If they do not do that, Mark Kelly will easily win this race. But for now, I'm going to say momentum's on the Republican side, so maybe tilt R. Same with Nevada. That's giving them Senate control. I think Nevada and Arizona are going to vote very similarly as each election goes by, and they'll probably vote by nearly the same margin this time around. And the Republicans actually have a very strong Senate candidate here. He's Attorney General, or a former one, and he just has that statewide appeal because he won before, so he'll be pretty palatable to Nevada voters. And Pennsylvania, if it's Jeff Bartos as the nominee, it's tilt Republican. If it's Sheen Parnell, by the way, is endorsed by Trump. If it's Sheen Parnell, he has allegations against him that he beat his wife and stuff like that. John Fetterman would probably win this state if Sheen Parnell is the nominee. But I'm assuming the Republicans will get behind the more electable candidate and elect Jeff Bartos in the Republican primary over Sheen Parnell. I'm assuming they'll get their act together there. Just give them time. And then Georgia, the last state, I actually think that Herschel Walker is going to blow it for the Republicans. He's an awful candidate to run here. Raphael Warnock's much stronger, considering he won by a bigger margin than Jon Ossoff did in the 2021 election. I do not think Herschel Walker is a candidate here. He aimed a gun at his wife. In his own words, he aimed a gun at his wife before in an interview. And he also has allegations that he abused his other former wives before as well. These allegations are going to sink his chances come November, and he's not going to win this state at all. The Republicans are making a huge mistake by nominating Herschel Walker, one of the biggest this election cycle, in my opinion. Well, there's my Senate election predictions. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Peace out, guys.